Well, if you have a child in sports, Lima attorney Jerry Pitts might have some advice just for you. So welcome, Jerry.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So kids are in sports. They're in lots of different extracurricular activities these days. And sometimes there may be a little bit of something that maybe they want to sign on a dotted line.
Yes. Now, that could happen. Again, like I said last time, stay away from agents. If you're going to get anyone, get a legal advisor, or you can go to accountant services or something of that nature. But the big thing is to stay away from any agents. Now, with these shoe companies and other things, their primary focus is they prefer that you deal with an agent. So they might be trying to get you to go over to that level. But you can't do that. Now, these kids nowadays, they're picking them up second, third, fourth grade. Now, it's an interesting thing that happened in the old days, and we're talking about in the 60s, 70s. Those child actors, most of them had agents, which made them professional. But the scary part about it is, once those young people became 17, 18, the age where they could be emancipated, they turned around and sued their parents. Now, why did they sue their parents? Because they're saying there was a misuse of funds. Now, the same thing goes with this name, image, and likeness. Parents, if your kid is getting some income, that income is not yours, parent. That is actually the child's income, and you should be, as the parent, protecting that child's income as well as you can. So therefore, you should be thinking about getting trusts or something of that nature so that the money is kind of watched with an accounting service so that you can adequately portray how that money was being spent. Some parents say, well, I'm going to go out and buy a new car because I need to take this kid to practice every day. But that car should not be to your greater benefit than to the child. That's why you probably would need an accountant and all that stuff. Now, the second thing is, even at the elementary and the junior high and any other high school level or college level, parents nowadays need to ask the school, show me your policy on name, image, and likeness, so that the parent is very much aware as to how that school is going to handle it. How is that school thinking about getting some of the proceeds? How is this going to work? So you need to do that. And also, what you need to also do is before the child goes to college, you need to go to some workshops and training atmospheres for this young person to not only learn the sport anymore, now they got to learn the rules and the regulations. So kids can be more informed. The more informed they are, the better they are off. Because once they hit that plateau, if they're not in Alabama or Nebraska, once they hit 18, then they can go off and do something themselves, which it ultimately wrecks their career. So those are things you need to think about. Boy, back in the day when we were young, it would have been nice for them to say, okay, we can give you some money just for you wearing this or looking like this, or you, and plus you got to also be aware of the athletic directors. You got to be aware of some of the coaches because they got contracts too. So the young people nowadays, and I'm hoping all parents now who have their kids actively involved in anything, it could be music or anything, you need to be aware of the name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, it can be very confusing, Jerry, because, you know, it's not just, you know, you're not just going to school anymore. Now, as school has become a business.
Right, and you become a business.
Yeah, so it can be very confusing for a lot of people.
So therefore, I say seek legal advice.
That's true. That's a good advice, Jerry, because you know what? You don't want to be taken advantage of, and guess what? You will be taken advantage of.
Yes, you will nowadays.
Yeah, so go out there, seek that legal advice. You know, that's what they're there to help. You know, but what about families that are maybe not have the wealth or the income to afford an attorney, but
or seek? Well, what the schools should have. They should have guidelines set up as to the name, image, and likeness.
Okay.
And the schools also should have legal staff somewhere.
Okay.
Now, they should be protecting your interests because Lord knows they're making enough money off them.
That's also true.
So therefore, let's take care of our kids and make their life a little easier.
All right. Well, Jerry, thank you so much for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, don't go away because medical news is coming up next.